Hey guys, Lisa the Wonderful Gardener here. I'm filming this on April 3rd. And so today I've got a bunch of spring projects that I need to do. On the docket for today is I do want to divide and I want to propagate my heucheras, which I'll go around and show you guys how I do that. We've got some dahlias that came in that I need to pot up as well. We also have some other dahlias that we need to dig up, split, and replant as well. And what else? We have a lot of seedling maintenance that I have to do, so I'll go around and show you that too as well. Gearing up for my plant sale, and guys, I'll show you my stash. It's a lot. But I'll show you guys that's coming up on April 11th. So hopefully by the time you see this, I probably would have already had the plant sale done. But I wanted to just take you around as I enjoy this day in the yard. I actually took today off, and the weather is super nice. I'm just going around, just doing all of my little gardening chores. Would love if you can subscribe to the channel, share with a gardening friend too as well. So let's start first here with our heuchera. Then I'm going to show you how I'm going to propagate these. All right, bringing you a little bit closer so you can see. So you can propagate your heucheras pretty much we're in zone 8A anytime you want. So what I do is I move the leaf back and see how there's a little bit of a bud coming out here. Like there's a grouping right there. All you need to do is separate it out from the rest of its leaves on here. All right, and what you're going to do is you're just going to gently break it off from the main stem. All right, so I'm just gently breaking it off. And this one, I should have done this a little bit earlier, but I really didn't have time. And so now is when I have time. So I'm just going to gently rock it and break it off. Actually, this other one might be a little bit easier, so I'm just bending it. Some of it is easy to come off, some of it is not. Some of it you may have to use a tool and cut it out. This one here, I'm struggling a little bit, but we'll get it. There we go. See how I pulled it out? So notice how I have the entire root in stock here, intact here. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the old pieces. So we got the whole thing intact. So I've got the roots here, and I'm going to go ahead and break out all of the old parts, old leaves. I don't need those. So I'm just gently pulling them out. All right, so this is what I'm left with. All right, so this is what I'm left with. Now, typically, like these leaves are a little bit too long. But what I'm gonna do is when you pot this up, I'm gonna put this in the shade so that it does not expose to a lot of sun, and then it should be fine. If the leaves flop, that's completely fine. If you notice, there's a lot of like little leaves that are coming in here. So I may lose some of these larger ones, but if I do, not a big deal at all. But guys, look at this. So I have my container with soil. What I just did is, I'm not gonna go buy soil, you guys. So I took some soil from my veggie gardening bed, which is basically really good compost. And I'm gonna take this. I've already watered it as well too, so the soil is wet. And making a little bit of an indent here. Stick this in and put it back. Now the yellow stuff you see on the leaf, we live in Georgia, guys, pollen season. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in the shade because I don't want it to expose, because this is trauma that you're doing to the plant, but I don't want to expose it to anything. So I'm just gonna basically put it in the shade and just let it revive, and then it should grow on. And this will be a nice good size for me to replant back sometime in fall, because I like using heucheras for my containers in fall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and see what else I've got and propagate from there. Sorry guys, forgot to hit record. I broke this piece out too as well. And this one here, technically, there's 3 different pieces that I can get. I can get one here, and the main one. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull it by the base and pull it out. And this is one. And then here you can see where it's joining. I'm going to go ahead and hold it by the base, pull it out. Here's number 2. And this is number 3. Guys, I'm going to have a good showing of Heucheras in the fall time, because they also stay evergreen for me here in zone 80 as well. So I love this time of the year. I love propagating. This is like one of my favorite things to do. I'm going to try to multiply as much as I can and have them like all over the yard. Now for Heucheras and things, and anything that you're propagating, you can propagate it for yourself, but you cannot sell it, because if it's patented, that's against patented law. So make sure that when you're propagating things, if you are going to sell them, they need to be ones that are unpatented, because you have to give people credit for the work that they've done. So like these, I am like 100% certain that these are patented. So I am only using it for my personal use, which is putting all over my yard, and I want to do a really nice, beautiful Heuchera container display in the fall. It's in my head. So that's what I'm prepping for, basically. So let me show you how I do the rest of this. So here's my container with soil, and I basically watered it already. I'm going to create a hole here. Then I'm just going to clean out some of the roots from this. I mean, not roots, the dead leaves. That's what I meant to say, guys. Clean out some of the dead leaves on here. This one here looks like it's multiplies a lot from the stem, so that's great. And I'm just sticking it in here. And this is my plant. Let's do the other 2 that we have. Alright, there we go. So my containers that I got, actually I was able to get 4 new plants. So this one, and I'm pretty sure I do want to propagate some of this, but this one is a little bit too small. I don't see any extra. I do want to propagate this as well, so I'm letting like all of the little leaves here grow on, and then this I'll probably propagate maybe June or July or so. Because it doesn't have enough of the little extra stems for it. And then these, by the way, I have at the front of the house, and I'm gonna have to dig these up and pot them up, and I have a shade display area that I'm gonna have, because these cannot handle full sun, and we are getting into the hotter part of the month. So what I did was last year, hopefully you saw that, I did a container display of Heuchera with the things behind me as well, and use it for that season, and then I just dig it up and plant it in, move it elsewhere in the yard, and then I'll bring it back up in the fall time. I love that. I love doing all of those things. Alright guys, so I am here at my back deck, and I'm getting ready for my seedling and plant sale, which I think you're probably going to see this after it's all said and done. Guys, wish me luck that all of this is sold. I've done a lot of like information sharing and marketing to advertise my plant sale. Let's just hope people show up. If they don't, I'll still tell you, but if not, I have all these plants to give away. So what I want to do is do a little bit of seedling maintenance today, which includes I have to water them, and I want to go around and see if there's any sort of dead leaves or different things like that. But guys, I've got a bunch of stuff. I've got a bunch of tomatoes, peppers, I've got hot pepper, sweet pepper, tiny Tim tomato, guys, I've got that too as well. jalapeno, eggplant, what else? Basil, green basil, purple basil. I've got, what else? Veggie wise. Oh, cucumber, zucchini, watermelon, all of that as well too. They're here somewhere. I also have to go through and start tagging everything. So I've started inventorying everything on here, just so I know how much I have and all of that. So I would say I'm like 50% done inventorying this. So that's my job for this weekend. Keep everything alive, inventory them. I am going to need to bring these in pretty much all next week. And the reason for that is the low is going to be a low of 44 for like 2 or 3 days. I don't want to risk anything because this is 3.5 months worth of work you're seeing here, guys. So I don't want to lose any of the plants. So I'm going to really have to bring them in. So let me just drag the hose out and then we will water these. And then I'm not going to fertilize them because I fertilized them last weekend already when I watered them. So we're pretty good. Let me just give you guys a closer look of everything. For flowers, I've got lots of flowers. All right. So I've got a couple of varieties of zinnia. So queen lime red, orange, all of that. A couple of varieties of marigold. I've got alternanthera. I've got lobelia. Lots and lots of coleus, you guys. Yeah, lots and lots of coleus on there. I've got amaranth, dahlias. What else? I've got some. Aren't these beautiful, you guys? This is my mahogany splendor hibiscus. They're so beautiful. Let's see what else I've got here. Cosmos. Artemisia. I've got some spider plants. Oh, and the herbs, I've got lemon basil as well too on there. Couple of varieties of geranium. I've got a juga. Oh my goodness, you guys, I got so much stuff, and that doesn't include what I have in the greenhouse. So I'll do a little bit of an in-depth of my plant sale, going over everything that I have. I'll probably do that one more towards when I'm prepping. So next weekend is my plant sale, April 11th, and then I took the day off before so I can move everything from here to the front of the house and stage them. So I'll probably debate you there, but hopefully people show up. If not, it was a good experience. I'm still gonna do it again. I love it. But yeah, everything stayed alive. I did kill a few things. You haven't seen that, but pretty much everything is alive. So let's water some of these. Eggplants, I started this like the first week of January. I don't think I need to start them that early, so I'll probably start them mid-January. But look at the size of this one. I started the process of hardening these off like 2 weeks ago. And the weather has been perfect this week. It was slated to rain, and I was kind of nervous that I had to bring them in and out. But the rain held off, so this has been sitting here for about a week and a half. And then before that, I brought them out for about a good 2 days where the weather was nice, and then took them back in. But hardening them off just basically means that you're getting them acclimated to the weather outside. I want to show you just a little bit of show and tell, you guys. I do love this, my alternanthera. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. And then this is my tray of what do you call it, marigolds. Next year, lesson learned is start my marigolds a little bit earlier so they could be a little bit bigger, but not bad. They desperately need water. This one is my jalapeno pepper, and what I've done is pinch, or should have done, I thought I did, is pinch the top of it, and what happens is that gives you a bushier plant rather than one stem. But this is pretty good. So this pepper I started end of January, first part of January, whatever, and then I pot them up, but not bad, good size seedling. Alright guys, let's water. Enough of this show and tell. So what I do when I water is I make sure the water is on a slow stream. because I don't want it to be too harsh for the plant. And then since they're in containers, make sure you get all the edge of the container, because I noticed that some of them I missed like the edge, and so the ones that are at the edge didn't really get water properly. So moving on to the next part of the project for today. Now that we've got all the seedlings taken care of, guys, I sparred a little bit and I went ahead and watered the rest of the yard as well, because the irrigation doesn't come on until like next week, and I don't want my plants to die, so I just watered the rest of the yard, hand water with a hose. So these are dahlias my husband actually got me. They were a Christmas present, but they don't ship until now. So the varieties he's got is Black Narcissist. I'll pop that one up on the screen. Brigitta Alida. Brigitta Alida. Then we got Penhill Watermelon, and we got Bumble as well. So my thought process is that with dahlias, when you buy them in clumps, I'm actually going to pot them up first, make sure that they sprout, and then I'll be able to plant them, because I have a hard time with dahlia doing well if I plant them directly without having them sprout out first. And I figure if I do it this way, what would happen is I would have a late bloom of dahlia. So the ones that came back in my yard will bloom first, and then I can plant these one out, let's say June-ish or so. And then I'll have like a second set of flush of dahlia that would be more in the fall time. So what I have is a container of soil, which I just literally took it from my garden bed. And the dahlias, when they come, they're going to have little broken pieces. That's fine. All you need is just one that's good, which in this case here is the dahlia, the neck, and there's lots and lots of eyes that I can see. So I'm just going to go ahead and prune the broken parts of them out. And usually these are grown in the field and then they dig them up. So when you have some of them, they are going to have clumps that where the tuber is broken, and that's fine. But what they're banking on is just having, actually this one has multiple little tubers on there. I can see a couple of eyes. So here I have a tuber, there's a neck, and if you look, there's little growth points on there. So what I'm going to do is you take your container soil, you put the dahlia on inside of it, and then you top it off with soil. I'm not going to bury these deep, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put it in an area where there is sun. So I'm actually going to just lay them out right here, and I'll be able to water them when I water my other plants. But it'll remind me that, hey, these are dahlias, but I also need to label them. So this one here is the Bumble Rumble. Did brought my tags so I can label them, because guys, you know me, I will not remember what I planted there. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and water it in as well. And then that's all. I'm just going to leave it, and then eventually I'll have sprouts that will come up. Actually, oh, there's 2 clumps of this one. Oh no, the 2 clumps, yeah, 2 clumps. Ooh, this one has a pretty good eye on it. Let me show you guys what I mean by that. So here is my clump. This one is fairly well. So it's one large tuber. So this is the tuber here. The neck is here, and notice how there's white growth points on there. That just means the tuber is alive. It's already starting to grow. this is what I'm going to pot them. So, and I have these in a fairly large container too as well. Maybe I should get a smaller container for these. I'll keep it in a large one. Okay, so here's my container with soil. I'm going to go ahead and place it in like that, and then I'm going to cover it up with soil. And I ran out of soil, so I'm going to steal some soil from behind me. So this is what it looks like. So I have the tuber here. I'm not burying it more than like an inch or two tall. It's actually really nice out today, you guys. And sun is barely out. Nice cool breeze. I'm like, I'm just going to enjoy sitting here in the sun, potting things up. I know this is weird, but it'll be fine. So next thing I got, let's do the Black Narcissist. I will pop that one on the screen again. Taking out, oh, this one has a lot of tubers. Okay, I'll take out all of the ones that are broken. I can see a couple of eyes on there too. Odd shape. Ooh, there's lots of growth points. All right. Yeah, lots of growth points on this one too. I'm gonna keep the soil moist for these, not too over wet though. Like not too moist, if that makes sense. You don't want the tubers to rot, if that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna label these, finish these up, and then we'll move on to the last project, which is we've got dahlias planted in a raised bed that I started to dig them up and split them, but I didn't finish it up, so I wanted to finish that up too as well, and then we'll call it quits for this video. So I have, let's see, 1 clump, 2, 3 clumps that's left to dig, and I think I may have had one over there that I need to check and see. Or maybe I got that one out already. I felt like I had one here, but I'm not sure. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take my digging shovel and I'm going to gently go from the side here and lift the tuber up. Last time I went a little bit too close and I pierced one of my tubers and I cut it in half. So let's be a little bit more careful this time. And my drip tube is off to the side, so I should be good. Ooh, nice. And then this one has already sprouted for me as well, guys. So, what we got going on here with this tuber? Ooh. This one even separated itself out from me. Guys, all I'm going to do is plant this on a side like this and just let it grow on because it's... Wow. And then the second clump, I don't even need to split any of these because it's already pretty small. But this one here also has sprouted as well. So all I gotta do is dig my hole deep enough and just lay it in this with the stems to let them come out. So let's do that. For my dahlia, since this one here already sprouted and it has a tuber and everything like that, what I did was I dug my hole a little bit deeper because I want to be very careful not to break the tuber or the sprout. And I dug my hole wide enough too as well. So I'm going to be super careful not to break anything. Now what I did here is plant that. Now what I'm going to do to make my dahlias bushy, see where it comes up in the middle here, I'm going to pinch it and pinch it as well. So what happens is now I'm going to have 2 shoots and it'll be a bushier plant compared to if you would just let it have like 1 stem. I'm going to go ahead and plant the rest of these. I'm going to go ahead and give it a good drink of water. You don't want to just plant it and then, not water it. reposition back my drip tape so that way this has water once the sprinkler comes back on. And hi everyone, hopefully this was helpful, showing you how to propagate Heuchera, a little bit of seedling care. We potted up some dahlias. Towards the end of it, my Penhill Watermelon, none of them were viable, so I need to call them and have them resend me a new batch of them, because it's none of them are viable. All of the tubers were broken, so hopefully they'll send me a replacement for that. And then we also dug up our dahlias that we overwintered in the raised bed, planted the remaining ones of them. It was nice seeing the ones that have already peed out from where we had started the project a while ago. So it's nice to see that. I would love if you can subscribe to the channel, share with a gardening friend too as well. Sitting here behind my celery partially, something like that on there. I'm gonna have to dig some of these up because I don't need that many, and they overwintered for me from last year. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Until next time, everybody, happy gardening.